Sada sarvagatopi Atma na sarvatra avabhasate. It is omnipresent. Conceptually, these are all fine, but it is not available. That is a question that we have. So Acharya's samadhana for that is Buddho eva avabhasate swacheshu pratibimbavat. That's what we saw before we closed down. As I told you, e-cache is available everywhere, but to catch it and to experience it, you need some things. You need a computer connection, you need an app. Somebody said you need a bank balance also. So all those are required finally to actually make it happen. In the same way, although the Atman is Sarvavyapi, Acharya says it is evidently manifesting through the Buddhi. And as I told you, by Buddhi, we must understand the entire Antakarna. Sometimes it is Buddhi, sometimes it is Chitta, sometimes it is, Manas, etc. So therefore, there's a larger term. In other words, the Sukshma Sharira is the gadget, just like tube light is the gadget through which electricity is made available. Electricity is available, but you can't tap it just like that. You need a proper gadget, which is connected and all that is done. So in the same way, the Antakarna is the gadget through which the Atman, although the Atman is omnipresent, it is available only in a particular channel. So that is what Acharya says. We'll move on to the next sloka, sloka 18, and try to understand what is really the issue there. 1 minute, let me decline, then do not disturb, aeroplane off. Okay. So we'll go to the 18th sloka. Dehendriyamano buddhihi prakrtibhyo vilakshanam tadvritti sakshinam vidyat Atmanam Rajavatsada. Deha Indriya Mano Buddhihi Prakritibhyo Vilakshanam. That is the first line. Tad vritti sakshinam vidyat atmanam rajavat sada. So, Deha, which is the Stula Sharira, Indriya, Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, so Dashendriyaha, Manas, Buddhi, right? All these are nothing but the Vilakshana of Prakriti. That's exactly what he asked when he came to me and asked this question. This coming here, answer is coming here. See, I actually have written an equation, how to describe anyone in the world. I have actually written an equation. The equation is like this. Purusha plus Prakriti is equal to what you see. Now it can be further derived. Purusha is nothing but Sat plus Chit plus Ananda. That is the Purusha part. That is the Brahman. Then there is a Prakriti, no? The Prakriti is called Nama plus Guna plus Rupa. So you have 6 variables which makes anything. Anything can be explained with that. Sat plus Chit plus Ananda plus Nama plus Rupa plus Guna is equal to each one of us. Is equal to this table. This table has a Rupa. This table has a Guna. This table also has Sat, Chit and Ananda, but the Ananda and Chit are not manifesting. Certain things manifest, certain things don't manifest. See, in a kashta, in a wood, when you try to put fire into the wood, the light glows. But if it is a wet wood, it will not shine. the chit will not manifest there because it is simply not possible. So like that, but every entity is made of Sat plus Chit plus Ananda, which is the Purusha part. Then you have Nama plus Rupa plus Guna, right? That Nama plus Rupa plus Guna is the three Shariras. What is these three Shariras? The Rupa comes through the Stula Sharira. The Gunas are expressing through your Karana Sharira and your Sukshma Sharira. So that is exactly here Acharya is also saying. So what is he saying? He is saying Dehendriya Manobuddhihi Prakritibhyo Vilakshanam. The modifications of the Prakriti. Modifications of the Prakriti is all this. Because if you have to create a world of multiplicity, you need both these components. Purusha is required, Prakriti is required. Put that together, then you actually make one so-called entity. It can be any living being, Jada Padartha, Chit Padartha, let it be anything. All of them are made with this. That's why it is law of conservation of divinity. Both the particles are available everywhere. In the context of Atma Bodha, we are talking about each one of us. So in that context of Atma Bodha, our Deha, our Indriya, Manas, Buddhi, all these are coming out of the Prakriti. That is supplying that. And that Atman is the Jivatma, that is the Satchitananda, which is what Acharya is painstakingly telling you are that. You are mistaking it to be the other. The other has joined with this and created something. So you are mistaking one and forgetting the other. That is what he is actually trying to do that. So that's what he is saying here. Deha Indriya Mano Buddhihi Prakritibhyo Vilakshanam. That is the first line. Then what does it say? Tad Vritti Sakshinam Vidyat. Atmanam Rajavatsada. See, a king is sitting in a court. When the king is sitting in a court, so many things work. You know, ministers do whatever is when Shevakas are doing. That's all two of CEO. CEO is not doing everything. But in his presence or her presence, everything they get the mandate, they are endowed, they are given the permission, they are given the authority to do things. So in the presence of that number one, everything else happens. In the same way, this Atman is sitting like a Raja in a Simhasana. Rajavatsada. In the presence of that Raja only everything happens. That is what Acharya is saying. No, it has another meaning. We have to understand it even more deeply. If that Raja goes out, there's a Darbar hall. The Raja is sitting, everybody is sitting, obviously. And Raja will ask something, people will say X, Y, Z, and so on. And Raja gets up and goes. Everybody goes. So Pancha Pranas, Pancha Indriyas, Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, everything will go. When the Raja goes, everything goes. Right? So we don't, we think it is not conspicuous to us. It is conspicuous in a very implicit way, not in a direct way. That's why when it goes, you bring, jalebi, you bring whatever it is, nothing happens. Everything is gone now. We have pulled the plug. We have to use the word. We have pulled the plug. The electricity is gone now. When the electricity goes, everything goes now. Yesterday we saw it now. Fans will go, lights will go, it will become dark. So the Raja is the Sakshi Bhuta for everything. In his majestic presence, in his command, everything happens. Just like how in his command, in the CEO's command, everything happens. In the same way, this Jivatma is inside us. We have taken it for granted. And if the Jivatma decides to get out of it, finished, everything is gone. So, therefore, please understand there is somebody sitting inside. Is it not? See, people say, I digest, nobody can digest. I don't know who can digest your food. You don't even know what is the process involved. First of all, we cannot do what we don't know. Do you agree with me on that? We cannot do what we don't know. Please tell me how is digestion happening? Even a doctor will use some, they will see the modern science, what happens is, they don't say, see, I want to say this to you. There are two important questions you should ask. In your self-evolution, these questions are important. One is who. Who is a very important question. Okay? And second is how. Modern science is actually answering only the what or how of it. And there is a why. Why and who is one category. How and what is another category. Modern science can answer only how and what. It cannot answer who. Impossible. Let's say, Nochu Samuel in one of his pravachana, I remember, he said, when the apple fell, Newton asked, why did it fall? He never asked who fell the apple. And he was saying, if Newton only bothered to ask who fell the apple, he would have become a Brahmajnani. Seriously, if you ask a question who, you will become very spiritual. When events happen, don't ask why is it happening to me. Ask who is doing it. Ramana Maharshi is also saying, who am I now? Who is a very profound question. Extremely profound question. You should really understand. Right? Why is also profound. But if you ask why, modern science explains and gives an answer, that is not the answer for why. It is the answer for how, actually speaking. Why did I get a heart attack? Then they say, no, there was a blockade. That is the how part. That is the what part. Lot of what medicine says or even modern science says, they think they are answering why. They are not answering why. They are answering how or what. See, Divanna was telling one day that his brother was telling me one day that they were he and one of his relatives they were at a postman. I think they were standing in Banashankari on the roadside. They are having tea. One truck was coming and it lost its. The driver lost its speed control. Of the three of them, one person was hit. The other two, nothing happened. One person was hit. He got a fracture. He was mentioning that to me. Amputed. Now we can ask why. We can ask two questions. Who and why? Why did it happen to him? Three of us were after all standing in one meter difference. He was explaining all that to me one day. You can ask why. Meaning, don't try to ask that. I'll come to it later. This context I am telling, right? Why? If you say why, then the answer anybody try to give, you analyze that answer. You ask anything why in any place, they will give an answer. That answer will be actually how or what. It's not answering why. So I have found out it is absolutely foolish to ask the question why, although it is a good question. Don't ask why. Why should it happen to me? Don't ask. You will only destroy yourself. Never ask that question. Just leave it. So many things are there. You should not ever ask that question. Why did it happen? People, it's called vilapana. Just lamenting. That's not at all positive. I'm not saying what happened is good. I'm not at all talking about that. Learn to live with it. Matra sparshast kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkataha agama paino anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Titiksha. Go through it. That is higher level of wisdom. People can know how to take their hands off and go through things happen in life. They have reached. That's what Krishna says. It's like, in the next sloka, 15 sloka in chapter 2, which is the next sloka after this sloka, he says, I will raise them beyond immortality. That's what he says in the next sloka. So why is not a good question? Who is a very good question? You ask who, you get very reflective. So here, we should ask who. Who is digesting? I don't think Vaishwanara is digesting. I don't even know how to digest here. I don't even know the process. Even if you know the process, I can put my hand and do something. Thank God, every day we are digesting and doing our, kriyas that are required to, which follows that. We should be thankful to the Lord. You should be very thankful to the Lord because the Lord is Aham Vaishwanaro Bhuta Praninam Degam Arshita. He says, I am sitting as Vaishwanara. In Mandukya Upanishad, that's what it says. Taijasa, Prajna, Vaishwanara, all those are there in Mandukya Upanishad. In the Avastatraya, when we are talking about all these. So, he is a Sakshi. In his presence, Vaishwanara is working. He is a Raja sitting. We are not seeing that Raja. So just is exactly what he's saying. So you have to understand that in every one of us, that Atman is sitting on that Simhasana, which is Chetak Kohare Panchabukosti Meikuto Bihi. Shivananda Lagadi says, in my Chetak Kohara, that space in the heart. Panchamukha is sitting there. Satyojada, the 5 of them, no? He is sitting. Where is my fear? That's what Shankaracharya says in Shivananda. Chetak kohare panchamukhosti me kuto bihi. Where is my fear? He is sitting there, and then in his presence, everything is happening. We are not even recognizing such an entity at all. We think this is what we are. So he says, Rajavat, Sada, Sada. He is there all the time like the king. King is a witness to everything happening. In his Drishti Gochara, everything is happening. That's what is happening in a kingdom, no? Udiji comes. Finally he comes, but then in his presence, in his name only everything is happening, no? So it is like that. So he says, Vrittihi Sakshi. He is the Sakshi of all these Vrittis. This Mano Vritti, Deha Vritti, all the Vrittis that are happening, all these modifications, new things that we are doing from the time we got up until we had the last sleep, whatever we did, all those are Vrittis. He is the Sakshi for that. So he says, Vritti Sakshinam Vidyat. Know him to be the Atma Sakshi. He is the reference frame, like a Raja sitting and looking around what is happening. And we need to, point our attention to him. We need first recognize he is there. So that is what is being, brought out in this shloka. Okay. Atma sada sarvagatopi sarvatra vyapya stitopi jataihi bahihi pravrittakshaihi na prakashyate ragadibi avidyayam buddho avabhasate. That is the previous shloka. Dehe stitasya atmanah audasinyam rajapurusha drishtantam aha. We have developed an udasina bhava. We have just ignored. Little we realize that he is the one behind everything. We don't even take cognizance of it. So, Udasina is just being indifferent. Right? That's what he says. Dehendriya manobuddhihi prakritibhyah jata parinama drishyebhyah. Okay? Tat vrittinam sakshitaya stitam yata raja swanagareshu stitah mantrishu vartamaneshu satsu swayam sakshitaya tan apashyan tishtati Tavadeva janiyat ityartah. Understand it to be like that. That in the presence of Raja, everything is happening. Understand there is a Raja sitting in each one of us. In his presence only, everything is happening. So that's what he is actually saying in this particular shloka. So it is available in our body all the time. So it is very different from Deha, Indriya, Buddhi, Manas, and all that. It is a witness. So basically, it is a Sakshi. It is a witness. And the very word witness, what do you understand by the word witness? That means I am not involved. That's the meaning of witness, na? If you are involved, you are not witness. The moment you say witness, that means I am standing on the ring side and seeing what is happening. Only such a person is called witness. If you also get engaged into the act, you are not a witness, you are a player. Right? So that Sakshi is a very important word. He is sitting there and seeing. He is seeing, he is providing, he is enabling you to do and watching the fun. You are bringing all your tinted glass, bring all that, and then with that you step out and then do whatever you want to do. He is a Sakshi. He is merely a witness. Yeah.
So when you say king, witness is, yeah, you're watching, but the moment you say king, so he does have some enforcing.
No, that's okay. In this context, you have to take a limited context. The context that you have to take is when Raja, he gives that, he gives instructions in empowerment.
You don't follow king.
No, that's what Atma did. Atma gave you all the rules. You messed it up. See, CEO appoints directors. Directors are empowered. A lot of mess is happening here. They are doing in the name of the CEO. CEO has already empowered them. So the Atma has empowered you with all. Now you are messing up. So,
that's also one component why people actually adhere to someone authority who is there. So that kind of thing.
Okay, so the only difference is in this context, that is the expectation of self-regulation. Imagine a situation in companies. CEO has empowered all the directors. He has given them all the resources, all the entitlements and so on. And he says, now go ahead. And he says, you will be self-regulating. If you do any mischief, you will get the punishment. I don't have to every time poke my nose. If you think of such a situation, I have become a witness now. I empowered you and I have become a witness now. So that is equivalent here.
The problem is also permanent as long as I am there.
Yeah. Yes. If I go, then you are also gone.
I won't sack you. You have to be there as long as I am there.
Okay. So then comes the next question. If you agree this, then the next question comes. If Atma is behind operating everything, everything follows. If Atma is behind operating everything, how can it be aloof? That's a question he asked. Immediately, next shloka is actually coming there. How can it be aloof? If the car is there, there must be a driver. Of course, there are driverless cars now. That's a different story. Okay. Yeah. So the machine is the driver and there is some control which is the driver, whatever. So the question therefore now is, if Atma is behind everything, how can it be aloof? Right? That Sandeha is coming to us. So apparently to answer that question, the next shloka is coming. So we'll go to the 19th shloka. व्यापृतेष्विन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापारी वा विवेकिनाम् दृश्यते प्रेषु दावत्सु दावन्निव यथा शशि. Okay. So Acharya says what kind of problems that we have in understanding this reality. He goes to the next. It says Vyaprutteshu Indriyeshu. That's a padacheda. Vyaprutteshu Indriyeshu Atma Vyapari iva avivekinam drishyate abreshu davatsu davan iva yata shashi. So that is the padacheda for this shloka. Okay. Vyapruteshu, when it is transacting through the indriyeshu, when it is escaping through the indriya, that's the medium through which it is happening. No, it's a reflected reality and all that we said. Vyapruteshu indriyeshu, okay, Atma vyapari iva. Vyapara means some action, right? When our indriyas start working and we deal with people, we talk, we do this, then at that time, right, aviveki, the person who does not have this discrimination of this, there are two things, and one is impermanent, which will never do any vyapara, which will never get engaged in anything, it will only remain as a sakshi. That discrimination when people don't have, they actually think that, oh no, Atma is now doing all this. Vyapari iva avivekinam, not vivekinam. For the uninformed person, for the person who has not understood these subtle things that are happening, when he is in doing some vyapara, and he is in indriya vyapara, jivana vyapara, whatever, you get engaged into things. So an indiscriminate person thinks, oh, the Atman is doing all this, because Atman is very powerful. He has everything, so he is doing everything. Like that, they actually come to a certain conclusion. Now, how is it like? He says there is this moon. Moon never moves. Clouds move. When the clouds move fast, it looks like the moon is moving. It's only relative, na? We normally, oh, moon is moving very fast. We also think that, we also know it, but that feeling also we get, na? Really, it looks like that. That moon is moving very fast. Actually, the clouds is moving in the opposite direction. Yeah, it is just that relativity. Yeah, exactly. Like the sunrise and the sunrise. I was mentioning the sunrise the other day. Sunrise, sunset, all are like that. When one is moving, that's why trees are running when you are traveling in a train. Trees are running at 60 kilometers per hour. Right? So he says, Drishyate abreshu davatsu abreshu. Abra is mega, cloud. So when the clouds are running, jumping or running, davati means runs or jumps or whatever it is. Davatsu abreshu drishyate davaniva yata shashi. It looks as though Sashi is jumping, not the clouds. The Sashi is really jumping from one place to another. That is the feeling we get. So we think that, oh, Atma is not aloof. After all, Atma is only doing all this. Atma is only doing all this. That kind of a feeling we get. Although it is aloof, we don't understand it. And why do we make that inference? Like the inference we made here. Moon is running. Like that, we are unwittingly, we are, making our own kind of a judgment. So in the same way, Acharya says that, it's all Indriyas, Buddhi, Manas, etc. are all working. They are working all the time. Working because of that. Right? But, it appears that Atma is also working.
We don't recognize Atma itself.
Yeah, that is why all these are happening.
And where do we infer that Atma is working?
Because we have, first of all, we have not, we conceptually understand, we understand there is an Atma because we see a dead person and come to a conclusion. We say that the Atma is known, Satte poitu, settu poitu, Tamil settu poitu, settu sat, sat is gone. We say Satta is gone. The existence is no more there. The existence of the prana is no more there. So prana pocha also we say in Tamil. But in Tamil colloquially we say settu pocha. Or settu poitta. Settu is not, it came, satta becomes settu. Satta poittu. Sat is gone. So we come to a conclusion. We know that. We are able to infer it. We are not able to experience it. As far as here is concerned, what you are saying is true, but that doesn't mean we fully agree to it. We know because we have seen it, no? After something, everything is dead, nothing is happening there. The Rajavat. So, but then, since we don't know, we think there is only one entity here. We think body is the Atman. So the Atman is working through the body. Like that we think. It is as good as saying the moving Indriyas are mistook to be the moving Brahman. Brahman never moves. Brahman is there. And because of Brahman, everything is happening. But because the Indriyas are moving, we are active, we think, oh, Brahman is active because as far as everything is one. So it's like the moon is moving and sun is moving and so on. So it is not that we don't fully understand. We are able to guess it. Uha is that. We are able to infer. Because after all, seeing. He was there with me half an hour before and then he's gone. Now you call him, he's not coming. Nothing is happening. Doctor comes and looks at the eyes, the eyelids and all that. He says everything is over. So that we are able to guess. But we are not able to understand, relate it to deeper things. So that's what this text is taking us through. Slowly, it is giving us different. It is giving us different perspectives to the same idea. So that collectively we will make an understanding. We should not understand it partly, part we should understand, but we should synthesize the whole out of that.
So, sir, is it the following? They are working on the direction of the Atma. So, whatever is happening, is it because the Atma is like giving the directions and the India?
It is not giving the direction, it is empowering it, enabling it. The CEO only tells the director, you are responsible marketing. He does not tell you, you go and do this marketing campaign. You put a advertising campaign here, offer a discount, nothing he says. But he has empowered you. The rest is yours. The same way, the Atma only gives you the vitality through the pranas and it energizes your Indriya. The rest is happening from this outer shell. And we thought the outer shell and the inner one are the same. So therefore, we thought Atma is doing. Like that. See, if a marketing campaign completely failed, CEO actually has not done it. He actually is not responsible in some ways because he has empowered you already. It is your problem. You haven't done it properly. You better learn and fix it for yourself. In the same way, we have been empowered. The Atma is only empowering us, vitalizing us, energizing us. Rest is all Sakshi.
There is a duality. That Jivatma, Paramatma is there.
At that level of consciousness. At that level of consciousness, that's why in the Jagrat Avastha, at this level of understanding, both are there.
Yeah.
Once that's why mirage is there and water is there and water is. Once you get that jnana, that there is no water, it's only mirage, mirage will be continue to be there, which means even for a jnani, the upadhis will be there, but he knows the upadhi dharma and he goes around it. He knows what to do with it. We are doing not knowing what to do. But he knows what to do. That I want you to understand this. A jnani does not mean he has lost all his senses, he has lost his indriyas, deha is no longer there. Nothing like that. But how do he uses it? What does he do with it? How does he do the vyapara? Everything will change.
So he aligns himself with Paramatma.
He is very conscious of its limitation. He is conscious of what you should do with that. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva dharayan. That's what in Bhagavad Gita he says. Oh, they have some attribute, they will do it. He knows how to be aloof while engaging also. He will split himself so beautifully into two. He will play the role of being aloof and also play a role of being part of the Sangha.
Have the pain, but he is not associated with the pain.
That's it. He'll be aloof. One part of him will be aloof. We don't have the aloofness today. We are so, because we are stuck, no? We are so engaged with thing and we are completely into it. Whereas a jnani will have that aloofness as well as being part of the Sangha. So the way he operates in the Sangha will be very different.
But inside him, there is something which is aloof and he knows that. So because as an ego, when we hear the word Sakshi, at max, as an ego, we can be objective. But Sakshitva has to be known. You can't pose to be a Sakshi, right?
No. So actually he becomes aloof. When you say he becomes aloof, what it means is he engages with the outside world as a dharma as it is required and it ends there. It doesn't come in anymore. It just, that's why he's aloof. It's just aloof. So the way you do the vyavahara will become very different.
He enjoys the sunrise.
Huh?
He enjoys the sunrise.
Okay. So an aviveki is one who has, in fact, who is this aviveki? The aviveki is one who has no guru actually. So this viveka comes only through the guru. It is the guru who actually gives you that nitya anitya vastu vichara chintana. That catalyzing act happens through a guru. Through a certain transaction that we do with the guru. Say, aviveki is one who has no guru. Who doesn't have the correct exposure to the scriptures, to the shastras. So the viveka develops, no? That is a yukti we talked about. With yukti, you have to remove the husk and take the grain. In the same way, this is firmly stuck. See, if you have a very valuable thing, you put a heavy quick and then stuck it. You have to, there's a long process of taking it out. Slowly you have to put some solution, scratch it a little bit without scratching the original item, then work on it for a longer time. 1 micron at a time you have to remove. Like that, this Atman has completely stuck with the Upadhi Dharma. The Atman has completely merged with the Upadhi Dharma. So taking it out requires yukti. And the yukti comes through, Guru Upadesha, Guru Vakya, Shruti, knowledge of Shruti, which tells you scriptural knowledge. Then the Dharma Shastras tell you how do you lead your life so that all these dirt in the mirror can slowly be wiped off. All these make us viveki. That's why those processes are very important. They don't give the jnana, but they are all required. You need the patra, you need the grain, you need the water, you need the gas connection, you need the gas. Finally, the cooking happens with the Agni. But all these are required. So like that, if we have all these slowly growing in us, then this this vichara starts happening, this viveka starts building in us, then that jnana sampadana happens over a period of times and janmas and so on, then he will continue to remain. Nothing. He is not going to run away anywhere. But he will be a very different person. And he doesn't even have to show who he is. You know, a great cook does not have to carry on shouter in his hand all the time and going here and there. But when he cooks, you know, he is a great cook. He doesn't carry a spoon with him to say that I am a great cook. Nobody does that. But moment he serves the food, oh, what nalapaka. In the same way, you will know the jnani by his vyavahara. He will not write a sticker. I am jnani number 423, nothing like that he does. He will do vyavahara, but his quality of vyavahara will be very different. The quality of vyavahara will be completely different. It is a completely different domain. And it will be our blessing to come in closer contact. We should pray for that in our life. To come near Satpurushas. By being a little near them, it's enough. It is contagious, and that we will become the spadika, that will become the flower. Like that. All that can happen. Anyway. So we'll move to the next sloka, 20th sloka. Atma chaitanyam ashritya dehendriya manodiyah swakriyarteshu vartante Suryalokam yata jana. Atma chaitanyam ashritya deha indriya manodiyah. Di here means buddhi. Di is enough. Buddhi, you don't have to say. Di is itself is enough. So here he has used, ashta aksharas are required for one pada. So all these poetic requirements. So he has, instead of buddhi, he has used only di. Deha indriya mano diyah swakriyarteshu vartante suryalokam yata janaha. So what happens is Nanu dehendriya mano buddhyopi atmavat kimartam sachetana drishyantaha ityatraha. Because now the Atman is expressing through the Indriyas. That's what the previous shloka is saying. That means, it's all part of the Indriya, that kind of a feeling we get. So to further clarify it, little bit fine-tune that thinking, next shloka is coming, which is this Atma Chaitanya Ashritya. So what happens, as we just now discussed, this Atma Chaitanya provides the enabling mechanism. That is all it is. It does. It provides the enabling mechanism. As I told you, a CEO does not get onto the field and do what is happening. At every level, they actually empower the next level. And Ashritya, based on that entitlements, empowerments, energy, resources, everything supplied to me, I will work. That is how it is. So in the same way, what is happening here is Atma Chaitanya. This Atma Chaitanya is there, right? This Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya, it is resident on it. It is dependent on it. It is deriving out of it all its, whatever it has to do. It derives its existence, it derives its vitality, derives its kartrutva, bhoktrutva with them only. But it derives that possibility from them. The Atman does not have a kartrutva or bhoktrutva. It neither has a desire to do things, nor has a desire to enjoy. But you take the energy and then you brought all that at your level and then started using it. Kartrutva, bhoktrutva happens at this level, not at that level. It only provides the energy. and provides the enabling mechanism in which things will operate. That is called ashraya. Ashraya is you depend on, right? That is called ashraya. You are dependent on. You are based on something. On all that places, we use the word ashraya. So Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya, Deha Indriya Manobuddhayah, Manobuddhayah, all these instruments, Antakaranas, right? Swakriyarteshu Vittante, they are all working. They are all doing their job, which means the Tanmatra called Shabda. The Tanmatra called Shabda will do its job as long as the Atman is there. And what will it do? It will receive the sound waves. And then in the modern science, medicine field also, they say it differently. Seeing, for example, let us talk about seeing. Now, what we are seeing today, we are seeing light falls on the retina, and then there is an optical nerve. It takes you to a certain part of the brain in which the signals are communicated to the brain. So this is the process of the imagery is developed, etc., etc. This is how the modern science has explained it. Fine, that's fine. How do we explain? We say you are able to see because you have a tanmatra called rupa. See, there are these 5 tanmatras: Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda is the tanmatra to do with sound. That can happen only in Akash. So out of the Shabda tanmatra only Akasha Bhuta, Mahabhuta will come. Because today science also says it travels only in space, not in vacuum. So Shabda is one tanmatra. Sparsha, right? Touch, feel. And the tanmatra Shabda becomes a Mahabhuta called Vayu. When wind flows, you feel it. Only when the wind flows, you feel it, right? So that's why the second tanmatra, Sparsha, is related to the Mahabhuta called Vayu. Shabda Sparsha, Rupa. Rupa is shape. The first existence of shape is the fire. Fire is the first existence of shape. That's why it is that tanmatra gets you Agni. Rupa. Huh?
Agni Sakshi comes from there.
So it is the Rupa. The first, our notion of space, notion of shape starts from Agni, the flame, for example. So that is Rupa. Then Rasa. The first the tanmatra called Rasa, which is taste, expresses itself through Appu. It is not water, actually, it is a liquid system. All these you have to actually define it slightly differently, but for a limited purpose, we'll take it as water. Liquid system. The taste comes only through liquid system. Otherwise, the notion of taste doesn't come. Then Gandha. Gandha will come only when you have material. Science will also say that. If smell is coming, there is a material particle there. Without material particle, no smell possible. We call it as Prithvi. Prithvi is not just the earth. It is material. The material brings actually the notion of smell. No, this in Panchikarana, there is this order also. That's why in Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Brahmanandavalli, it says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. But the entire Upanishad teaching of Taittiriya Upanishad is in one sentence. The entire Taittiriya Upanishad is only one teaching. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It's a Lakshana of Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. But then we don't understand anything with that. So the Upanishad is actually expanding it. That's how the second chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad is. So it says everything came out of it. Akashat Vayuhu Vayor Agnihi Agnerapah Apyah Prithvi Prithvyam Oshadayah Oshadibhyonnam Annat Purushah. So how did we come? First you need Akasha. First you need space is the first thing that you have to create. For us to occupy also we need some space, no? Even if we come. Some space, even the child requires 1 feet by whatever, our madam will tell exactly what it is. So even when a child is born, there is a space required of a certain whatever. So Akasha is the first thing that we need. In fact, interestingly, what you see in Taittiriya is what today's astronomers are doing here. When they go to Mars, they go to Moon. You know what they do? First, they explore the space. After they explore the space, they explore the gases. Is there carbon dioxide? Is there oxygen? Akashat Vayuhu. Then, because only when there are the right gases, fire will come. Otherwise, fire will not come. You need carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxygen, and all that. Fire doesn't happen. So, Vayoragnihi. And only when you have fire, only when you have heat, it's not even Agni is actually heat energy. Only when you have heat, then water will ever be possible because condensation and recycling. That is the method actually for water. Water is coming from where? It is coming only from Sagara. Water is not manufactured somewhere and given by BWSSB or somebody like that. Our water supply board is not manufacturing water. Water is coming like Parjanya. And the Parjanya is what? This water is going there and coming back. So without Agni, water will not come. So in the astronomical experiments of Moon and all, Mars and all that, this is what they're doing. They look at explore the space first. Then they see what kind of gaseous systems are there. Then they come to a conclusion, fire is possible. Then they see, is there water? Only then life. That is what Taittiriya is saying. Akashat, Vayu, Agni, Rapa, Abhya, Prithvi, Prithvyam, Oshadayah. Only when all these five are there, then Oshadi Vanaspatayaha will come. The plant kingdom will come. That's the next. Darwin, somebody said, no, something like this. Plant kingdom. So one person came and told me, no, sir, I eat non-veg 3 times a day. I don't eat plant kingdom. I said, sorry, man. The non-veg that you are eating is actually eating vegetarian. You don't know the food cycle. The starting of the food cycle is only Oshadi, Vanaspati. Even if you have to eat your whatever you want to eat, in the food cycle, it starts from actually plant kingdom. So animal kingdom live only because of plant kingdom. So you also need plants. Oshadi Vanaspatayah. Then Annam. Then comes the food cycle. Out of the food comes vitality. Out of the vitality, human beings are born. So this is that complete order in which things happen. So in that area, I went completely away from what I wanted to say because this is an interesting idea I wanted to share with you. When you say I am seeing, what happens? There is this Tanmatra. That's where the Rupa came, Sabda Sparsha Rupa. So there's a Tanmatra called Rupa. Because the Tanmatra is active and available to an Atman, it is actually we are able to see. That's how we have addressed that problem. That Jnanendriya works, called Chakshus. That Jnanendriya works, and that through that Jnanendriya we are able to see. So for all these to work, we need that Atman at a Pinda level. What I told in the Taittiriya is Anda level. This is Pinda level, at a microcosm level, not at the macrocosm. It is at the microcosm level. That is what this shloka is saying. He's saying, Swakriyarteshu Vartante. Because that Atman is there, then the Tanmatras are all alive. Because the Tanmatras are alive, the Indriyas are working and they are all doing their job. Okay? It's like, when sun is up, the sun is very important. If sun is up, Sakala Jivarashi wakes up to energy. Sun is not there, last 3-4 months, there is no sun in Bangalore here. It's so gloomy. 10 minutes it comes and then goes, they are all, so dull and, imagine there is no sun for, I don't know how those people live in Scandinavian countries and so on. 6 months, no sun. And 6 months only sun. Adivishti or Anavishti. There is nothing in between. Because you are near the polar region, no? So because of the 23.5 degrees slant of the globe that is happening. When it moves either to too much darkness or too much light. Because of the angular distance between the sun and the earth and so on and so on. So, when sun is there, the whole world will work. Flowers will open. All flowers will bloom. Moment the flowers bloom, all the butterflies will start their work. They'll do pollination. Everything happens. You go and pluck the flower, you offer it to the guy. Everything works only with sun. Sun energizes everything. Although it is appears to be aloof, it appears to be engaged. It is everything. It is engaged directly, indirectly. It is also aloof because we are not reaching out sun. But only with the sun, all these are happening. In the same way, Atman plays all that role. Sun is Sarvagataha. 15th chapter, there is one shloka mantra which comes. Sarvagata, there is one mantra will be there if you see. When we recite, we will see it. So that's why Acharya gives the example of a sun. One sun comes, every creature starts working. If sun does not come for about a year or two, finished, we are all finished. That is why Sandhya Vandanam is very important. See, if I drop a kerchief, if you take and give me the kerchief, I will say thank you, no? It's the smallest courtesy. Whereas in 1923, there was an article written in National Geography in 1923. And that article said, we breathe sun, we eat sun, we wear sun. These are all coming because of sun. Cotton grows only because of sun. Even your polyester, which Reliance is pulling it out from the deep thing, that crude is formed only because of sun and climatic cycles. So that article 1923 said, we eat sun, we breathe sun. Ancestors said, pray sun. That is called Sandhya Vandanam. If you have any sense of gratitude, you must do Sandhya Vandanam. If you don't have gratitude, I am not going to discuss that part. That is why your ancestors put this concept called Sandhya Vandanam. So without that, nothing happens here. Nothing will happen. Our climatic cycles will go for a toss. We will not get water. And today they talk about climate change and all that. No? If sun chooses to come for half a feet near us, we all will be burned to death. If sun goes half a feet away, we will all freeze to death. We have taken everything for granted. Everything we have taken for granted. We have the audacity to say, I am doing everything on the top of it. Not knowing that we are incapable of doing anything. Actually speaking. That is why this whole idea of Sandhya Vandana came. Be a little grateful here. 3 times I remember, only because of you I am living. Only because of you I am eating. Only because of you I am actually, carrying out with everything that you do in our life. These our ancestors understood that. Today we don't know the meaning of it. We have just acharyas, great acharyas, they are begging to Sandhya Vandana. This is all their lectures I see. I mean, this is pathetic, I'm telling you. They should give us much better teachings in life. Instead of that, they are saying, please do Sandhya Vandana. This is what many of the lectures they say. We have been reduced to that level. That's why it says, Surya Lokam Yatha. It's a sun which is energizing the whole world. In the same way, there is a sun inside. That sun is radiating. And in that brightness and in that light, Vyapara is happening. Internal and external Vyaparas are happening. We have just forgotten that sun. We have taken it for granted. So Acharya brings it back to our attention through this shloka. Shloka 21. Dehendriya gunan karmani. Karmani actually. So that meter is a little getting difficult here. Dehendriya gunan karmani. Meter is not okay. Amale Sachidatmani Adyasyantya Vivekena Gagane Nilatadivat Deha Indriya Gunani Karmani Gunan, not Gunani. Deha Indriya Gunan Karmani Amale Sachidatmani Adyasyanti Avivekena Gagane Nilatadivat. These are all very beautiful ideas actually. See, there is a concept called Adhyasa. Shankaracharya wrote what is called Chatussutri. Out of the 580 odd Brahma Sutras, He wrote a Bhashya for just first four to begin. Chatussutri, it's called Chatussutri. Just four. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Dharma Jignasa is actually Purva Mimamsa. Atato Brahma Jignasa, Shastra Yonitvat. Like that, there are four of them. He wrote. Well, while he wrote, whatever Bhashya he wanted to write, he wrote a preamble. Just about 5 sentences. Okay. It starts like this. It says, Kshetra Kshetrayoho, Asmad Yusmad Pratyaya Gocharayoho, Vishaya Vishayinoho, Tama Prakashavat Viruddha Swabhavayoho. The Mithya definition is coming there. That is very relevant here. It says, Asmat Gochara and Yushmat Gochara. Gochara means the focus of our attention. Gochara means where all our energy and thought and vision goes. It's called Gochara. There is something called Asmat Gochara, which means there is something called an entity I. So things can be directed to I. That's called Asmat Gochara. There is something called Yushmat Gochara. Yushmat is you. So, or you can direct all your attention and everything, energy, everything towards the entity called. So there is an entity called I, there is an entity called you. Y-O-U, not you. Y-O-U, and not E-O-E, it is I, the capital I. Okay? So Acharya says, Asmat Gochara, Yushmat Gochara, Asmat Gochara, Yushmat Gochara Yoho, Vishaya Vishayinoho. Okay? The Yushmat Gochara is the Vishaya, which is the object. The Asmat Gochara is Vishayini, is the subject. So he says this entire world can be understood from what is called subject and object. That's what this world is. There is a subject and there is the object. Right? And then now he says, Yushmad Ashmad Pratyaya Gocharayoho Vishay Vishayinoho Tama Prakashavat Viruddha Swabhavayoho. He says this I and you can never have anything in common. It is like Tamas and Prakasha. It is like light and darkness. How can light and darkness be together? Yesterday only we saw it. Light and darkness cannot coexist. When darkness is there, light will not be there. When light is there, darkness will not be there. We don't have to waste our time understanding this concept. So he says the Yushmad and Asmad are like darkness and light. Now, what is this Yushmad and Asmad? Go to chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita. The Yushmad is Kshetram. The Asmad is Kshetrajna. Kshetramit abhidiyate kshetrajnam apimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Actually, 13th chapter is high-end philosophy actually. So, in this world, for each one of us, these are all, the unit of analysis is individual. It is not a collective idea. For every one of us, there is something called I, there is something called you. And what is that I? The Atman alone is I. The body, Indriya, all that which we thought I are all you. It belongs to you now. These are all Yushmat Gochara. Plus the outside world, which includes all of you, this building, this computer, this light, this fan, all these are object. And there is the Sakshi who is the subject. Right? So Asmat and Yushmat Gochara are so poles apart like light and darkness. But in reality, what do we do? We say, I am happy. When you say I am happy, happiness is something which is related to the manas. It is a mana vyapara. Manasika vyapara. It's not kaika vyapara. If you say I am hurt, that is a kaika vyapara. Hurt is something to do with this jadapada called body. I am happy when you say that happiness belongs to the manasika vyapara. According to this particular statement, they are all you, not I. They belong to the world called you. But what do we say? I am happy. So what have we done? We have superimposed, we have thrown I into you now. Is it not? We have thrown this I into you and then combined and made one statement. You say, I am fat. Fatness has something to do with Stula Sharira. Fatness and thinness. Tall and short. Tall and short belongs to the Stula Sharira. And Stula Sharira is Yushmat Pratyaya Gochara. It is not Asmat Pratyaya Gochara. It is a set of things directed towards what is called Kshetram. The Kshetrajna is Atma. They are all Kshetram, including. That's why you say my body. When you say my specs, what do you understand? Specs is not me. That's the English meaning of my specs, no? We say my specs. Clearly, it means I am not the specs. Only when it is different from me, I am using some word called my and mine in between to connect. So even by that very statement, we can understand I am not the body. Because I am saying my body. My headache, my head is aching. That means I am somebody. I have a gadget called head, and that head is aching. Simple English, not Vedanta. So very clearly, what is now understanding? Head is actually Yushmal Padartha, not Asmat Padartha. But we don't understand it like that. Everything is mine. Ahankar comes in. Mama, everything is I am everything I am doing. It is mine. When you say it is mine, we don't even understand the grammar of mine. We should have ideally understood the grammar of mine, which means temporarily I am owning it. I am different from that. So, abhyasyanti, avivekena. That's the word he uses. This methodology of superimposing one dharma, anyasmin dharma, anyasmin, all that continues in that. Mithya vaktum, like that, the Chatushruti, first this mantra goes. So, you superimpose A's property into B, which is what we are doing all the time. We are superimposing A's property into B and talk B as A. I am happy. Come on, I cannot be happy or sad. We have not understood that part. We already attached I to the other dharma. I is Asmat dharma. Body is the Yushmat dharma. You have now done the adhyasa of Asmat dharma into the Yushmat dharma, and you are saying, I am happy. Right? So that is what he says, and we are doing avivekena. Avivekena adhyasyanti. Dehendriya gunan karmani. So all that these deha and indriya and these all these gunas, these attributes, etc., that are all happening. Sachidatmani adyanti. You throw all of them into this side. You take the Yushmat Pratyaya Gochara and throw it into the Asmat Pratyaya Gochara. That's what Acharya is saying here. He is saying, Sachit Atmani Adyasyanti Avivekena. Without understanding that they are two different entities, you borrowed all the properties from here and threw it on this side, superimposed it on the other side, and started saying these are the properties of that. Right? Avivekena. We have not developed that viveka. We have not understood, oh, there are two entities here. They have just come, it is a marriage of convenience. But you have to manage it. Right? That has not happened, and for which he gives an example. Gahane Neelatadivat. We attach the blue color to the sky. Sky is never blue. Raman effect. That is what is coming. Acharya says, Gahane Neelatadivat. We are saying the sky is blue. How can sky be blue? Sky is neither blue nor red. Sky is colorless, attributeless. Because of the scattering of light, it is showing a different color. The Vibgyor is there. The white light has all these colors. That's why during sunset, the sky is gold and yellow or orange. We go to the other side in shorter wavelength. That's why you get the color of the sky in the Vibgyor. We go to the right side. In the clear sky, you come to the middle. Indigo blue. This side is a higher wavelength. So we very foolish. I mean, for practical convenience, we are saying we must remember sky is never blue. We forget it after some time. Because every day we are saying sky is blue. But you know, when Asatya told 1,000 times, it becomes Satya, no? That's what they say, no? You say Asatya 1,000 times, it becomes Brahma Satya. So in the same way, we are, doing the adhyastha of the Deha Dharma, Indriya Dharma, Mano Dharma, Buddhi Dharma, all that we are putting it on the Brahman. And since we are doing it time immemorial, we have lost the difference. You have told it 1,000 times and we thought all are same now. That is where we are stuck. So that is what we are saying. Acharya is saying, Abhyasyanti. They are doing Adhyasyanti. They are doing this Adhyasa. Adhyasa technically in English means superimposition. Adhyasa means superimposition. To superimpose one property into another property. Aropanam. That's why you superimpose a snake on a rope. We'll come to that's a very famous example which we have to use. We'll come to it. Coming. And Shloka is coming for that. Okay. We are superimposing snake on a rope. Snake was never there. But we superimposed. We did the adhyasa. And then started fearing so many things happened. Finally, when he took a torch, we said, oh, this is a rope. It is not a snake. I thought it was a snake. Because the fan was running, it was a room was not at in one corner, something is shaking like this. Something is shaking like this. From there I am seeing. So I got sweat. I took the kerchief and wiped my forehead. How can a Jada Padartha generate fear in you? I want you to inquire. How can a non-existent snake indulge so much of fear in you, so much that you have to take a kerchief and wipe your forehead? Please think about it. Don't take all these for granted. Seriously inquire into it. That's the Vedanta Vichara. That's what it is. So I think we'll stop here. 11:45, we'll stop here. We will take a 15 minutes break. We'll do one more shloka of, we'll change gears and we will. You want to talk about the ashram? Please.
Friends, a couple of days back, I had